Alright, so welcome to Culinary Arts Level 2, and I'm going to go over what your portfolio is. So you received your portfolio in class today with the instructions of homework to watch this video. And the reason I did this video is so that everyone can go back and rewatch it if they need to, if they forgot about something. So in your portfolio, you have a sheet of paper that's inside. What you're going to do is you're going to take this out. And you're going to put your name right here. This is the number of the portfolio. Now I will also have the number on the side so that you'll know how to, you know how to access your portfolio if it's on the bookcase. After you put your name in it, slide it right back in, and it's good to go. And now, ideally, you would like to keep your portfolio here. That is quite all right. If you do, it needs to be on the bookshelf, not left in my kitchens, not left on the table, not left anywhere else. And if it's on my bookshelf, it is on my bookshelf like this. Neat. Not like this, not like this, not hanging off the bookshelf. It's just professionalism. So if I see your book, your notebook not being properly stored, left somewhere, you will get professional points taken off your daily grade. So it's really important that you put your book away correctly. Now if you want to take it home to do homework, that is quite all right. You are allowed to do that. You are allowed to keep it in your locker. However, if you leave it in your locker and we come to class and you forgot it, you're not allowed to go and get it. So I would say have it in this classroom at all times, because you'll need it a lot, especially when we do labs. Have it in this classroom and also have it put away correctly. So opening up your portfolio, you're going to see on the pocket here is a little handout. Don't worry about this right now because this is actually for about week 3 when we get into the breakfast foods unit. This is chapter 1, section 2. It is from the new textbook that we will get next year. I like the format a lot better here in the new textbook than in this book. So just for this chapter, we're going to be using this handout instead of unit 2 in here. So I gave everyone one right now, but you don't need it for right now. So we're going to be looking at what's in our binder, our portfolio binder. We have 3 sections, and the first section is class. Anything in this section, don't write on. This is just for your knowledge. This is for you to catch up. This is for you to reference to. This is not for you to draw on. This is not for you to take out, because I use these pages here over and over again. So this is just for you as a reference. Anything in the logs and the other, you can write on. So this stuff here, you can write on. Anything that we get later on in the year that goes back here, you can write on. But just don't write on anything in the class because this is class materials. Now looking at your class materials, what is our class materials? This is stuff that we have referenced that we learned in level 1. So those of you who have taken level 1, first semester, this is going to be a refresher. Those of you who took second semester, we probably didn't get through this, so you definitely want to read through it as well. Those of you who have not taken level 1 at all, this is important. You need to read through this because we don't have time to go back and give you this basics information, this basic knowledge. This knowledge, we spent a lot of time in level 1's first semester going over this, so if you weren't here, you're responsible for learning this stuff. For instance, when I say a bench scraper, we have bench scrapers here. You need to know what it is and what it's used for. I don't want you to stare at me like, oh, I don't know what a bench scraper is, because it's here. You should know what it looks like. You should know how to use it. Same thing goes for a cheesecloth. We use cheesecloth for a lot of things. So if I say we're going to use cheesecloth today, you should know what a cheesecloth is because you've referenced all your materials. So there are several pages of equipment that you need to familiarize yourself with. For instance, a sieve, or also known as a sifter. We use this when we're baking. Rolling pins. There are 2 types of rolling pins. So when you go back over there and you don't see this rolling pin on only those rolling pins, you know those are the same thing. So skipping through this, we come to our knives. Now, when you did your assessment at the beginning of the school year, I wanted to see how you handled your knives. I wanted to see how well you knew your knife cuts. And to be honest with you, I did not expect you to know them, especially if you are very new to this class. If you've taken other classes from Miss Jordan, you've probably learned some knife skills. You probably forgot. Those of you who were not in level 1, this is important for you to catch up on, because we use a lot of these knives in this classroom, and you need to know what they are so that when you use them correctly. So knife skills. You watched a couple demonstrations that Miss Jordan did with knife cuts, and you performed some of them, probably poorly, but that's fine. I don't expect you to know them yet. However, you need to be practicing these. We won't work on in class. However, this is stuff that you work on outside of class. This is your homework. You need to become proficient in these knife skills. These knife skills here. Now, looking at your red page in class section, basic knife usage, how to hold a knife. So just in case you forget how to hold a knife, Miss Jordan will yell at you in class if you're not holding it correctly. But this is the way that I want you to hold a knife. So if you forget, reference it here. Miss Jordan will yell at you if I don't see a claw. If you don't know what that means, you need to read through this red sheet of paper. Mise en place. Mise en place is a term that means putting everything in its place. Mise en place is more than just finding the ingredients and putting it on your counter. Mise en place is about getting all of your utensils, getting all of your workstation set up, reading completely through your recipe. Don't wait till you're about to start before you read the recipe. You should read it all the way through so that you know what equipment you need in your mise en place. So when I say it's mise en place day, and we will have a lot of mise en place days because a lot of our recipes take more than one day to do. We spend a day getting all of our mise en place done and making it or cooking it on the next day. So this is what I'm talking about when I say mise en place. Now, I'm going to go over your logs a little bit more in depth when we get to the log section, but this is what it looks like. Here's an example of a log. Now, your log entry is not to just copy down the recipe. You are noting skills and procedures so that when you get into the kitchen, you know how to prepare this. This is not for me to look at. I know how to make this recipe. This is for you to teach yourself or to remind yourself this is what we need. So if you're watching a demonstration, whether it be live or whether it be on a video, you should be filling out this thing the exact same way. Now here are some instructions on how to watch a demo if you're asking questions. Now, if you are watching a live demo, you can ask questions live. I can answer them. However, if you're watching a video demo and you don't have the answers to your questions, you can't just say, hey, how do I do this? Because I can't answer because it's a video. What you're going to do is you're going to write those questions on your log. That way, so when you get to class, you do have questions. Hey, Miss Jordan, I don't know what a mallet is, and because it's not on my sheet, can you show me or can you tell me what how I'm supposed to clean it? Then I can do that, but I'm not going to sit there and help you walk through the recipe because you should know this basic stuff by watching the demonstration. Again, read through this green sheet. This tells you how to do your logs. Now, when you're doing logs, don't think that I'm going to sit there and give you a list of all these ingredients in order. I might say, today we're going to be using a cup of cranberries. Cranberries are bitter and tart. They're best used in dessert applications or in savory applications or whatever. You're going to write cranberries, and you're going to jot down some of that notes that I gave you about what cranberries are. It might tell you that there are seeds in cranberries, so you might want to take the seeds out of cranberries before you eat them. Then after I say this is a cup of cranberries I'm going to use, I might jump down and we're going to use a cast iron skillet. So you might start writing stuff down here and then might jump to here or jump to here. Don't think that you're going to go in order, because a recipe or demonstration will not go in order. So just get that in your mind, that you will have to know what these are so that you know where to put your information. If it's a live demo, you can say, Ms. Jordan, hold on, I forgot. Let me write this down before you go on. I will stop, and you can do that. If it's a video demo, you can stop it. There's a pause button. Pause it, rewind it, so you can write down what you need. Okay, so the next page is your pink page, your mother sauces. Now, throughout this semester, or throughout this school year, we're going to be doing all of these grand sauces in some form or another. In our breakfast unit, we hit bechamel and hollandaise sauce. So in our meats unit, we hit the other ones. So this is just kind of a little cheat sheet of what the mother sauces are, because in level 1, again, we went through all the mother sauces. We learned what their daughter sauces were. So this is a cheat sheet. We do a review with these sauces so that you know what they are. I want you to know your 5 mother sauces, because I will quiz you on them. But you should know what they are. Here are recipes for your mother sauces. Again, don't write on them. Don't mark these up. Try to keep them as clean as possible. These are for your reference only. Yellow sheets. Your yellow sheets, these are terms. Throughout the week, you will be given a list of terms that's going to be on your quiz, your weekly vocab quiz. So you should know what these are. They will not be in order. Some of them will be general culinary terms. Some of them will be food preparation terms. So it's your responsibility to find out on the board what our weekly terms are, to know what they are, to know how to spell them. Yes, I will take points off for spelling, and know how to define them. Your next section is log. Now, here's a blank log. Each binder has a stack of these. If you are finding yourself coming to the last one and you have no more sheets for your logs, then you can walk over to Miss Jordan's desk and Miss Jordan's little folder system. There are extra logs in here that says logs under your 5th restaurant management too. So just grab a handful and then put them in your binder. Your sample sheet kind of showed you what was on the first page. There are 2 pages on the log. So familiarize yourself with these different things. Sometimes we probably won't need a thickening agent. So if I am making breakfast foods, say I'm making bacon, I won't have a thickening agent. I won't have any sauces, things like that. So you don't have to have anything in there. You can just draw a little X or a line through them. But most every recipe is going to have basic cooking techniques. Your pantry, these are where your list of ingredients are. This is your pantry that you go grocery shopping to go get their stuff. And then any kind of things like that. Now, because this is what I'm grading to make sure that you got it correctly and it's written and it's legible, this is what you take to your station when you are cooking. So if you want to have another page after it that's got a little bit more breakdown of the recipes that you can jot down yourself, you can. But I typically won't give you a recipe when you go to lab if I've given you a demonstration, because I have given you a verbal recipe and I expect you to have written it down. But you can write as much or whatever you want on these. I just want to make sure that you are covering some bases so that you understand. If you don't know what it is when you're writing it, before you go into your lab, before you start cooking, that's when you ask me some questions, because I'm not going to answer your questions halfway through your recipe, because I'm going to assume once you start, you know exactly what you're working on. All right, so the last section is other. Right now, I have nothing in your other section, but you will get your Restaurant Impossible project, which is our semester project I told you about. That will go here. Any other handouts, recipe things will go here as well. Anything you write in the other or add to your other, it is completely up to you. Whatever you want to put there is fine. Just remember, don't write on anything in the class section. You're going to write on things for your log section, and you'll keep your logs in there. So when I grade them, I want to grade them in your book. So don't take them out. And anything in your other, it's really up to you what you want to put back here. I might give you some handouts saying put it in your other section. So that is your portfolio. I hope that you have a wonderful school year, and I hope that you learn some great skills. I'm really excited about chapter 1. It is breakfast. So much stuff we get to cook. It's so great. So hope you have an appetite.